I don't give a damn.
You're fired.
Hello, welcome to Let's Get Fired. I'm your host, Drew Simon. This is the podcast that may get you fired. Today I have local LARPer and comedian, Tanner Rahlf. Tanner, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Dude, I am pumped for this. I was actually really excited to invite you to do this.
I'm a little worried how excited you are, because you've let me know several times now.
No, it'll be fun. It will be fun. It's I'm gonna learn a lot about you today.
All right.
That's what's gonna happen here. So let's get fired. I start off with a few basic questions I do with every guest. So to start off, Tanner, have you ever been fired from a job before?
Once.
Yeah. Okay, what's the story?
I was working at a pizzeria in Provo. I was a college student, and they had me on the same schedule every week, which I love. Mm-hmm. I love, having the same schedule, normalcy, and all of that. And so one week, it was during Thanksgiving week. I had family in town, and I went and hung out with my family on like the Tuesday that I normally don't work, but I didn't check my schedule that week. And it turns out, because it was a holiday week and everyone had weird schedules, my schedule got rearranged, and I just didn't check beforehand. And so I did a no-call, no-show, and so they fired me for that.
That was enough.
Yeah, just one. It is technically, it's implied I quit with no-call, no-shows. That's how they word it. So
that's not really a fun one.
No,
I thought it would be.
I have a fun one of like what's depressing. I'm not sure if it's fun. There's one time I wanted to get fired and didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like me at every job I've ever been to. I'm just kidding. But
I worked at a call center, which is just soul draining. That is
where at?
Here in Provo as well. It was called Response Marketing. And basically, if you have a little kid who ever clicked those like pop-up ads that say win a free iPad, mm-hmm. regardless if you wanted to or not, all your information that's stored on your computer was sent to us, and we would call you because you supposedly expressed interest in furthering your education.
Oh, dude, I worked for a company that did that in Rexburg.
Yeah.
It was called
Rexburg
like Silverfire.
Yeah.
And ours was like people who signed up for job websites like Indeed and stuff. Uh-huh. And because they were looking for work,
that was always the saddest.
we saw that you were looking to further your education. And they're like, no, I want a job.
Yeah.
A job. And I just got yelled at all day. And they wanted us to be so aggressive on the phone with people. Mm-hmm. Like, we were not taking no for an answer. And because I'm such like, here's the thing. If you want me to do a good job, I have to believe in what the company is doing.
Yeah.
I have to be bought in that we're doing good in the world. That's what I like about my job now. I think my company actually does lots of good in the world. I'm not going to go into detail about what my company does, because
we shouldn't say specifically where we work.
Yeah,
so
I'm not going to give specifics. But yeah, no, my company does a lot of good, so I believe in it. But that company, dude, I did not give a damn at all. Like, people like, no, I'm looking for a job. I'm not interested in furthering my education. And I was like, okay. And I just hang up.
It's like you could tell, like they were desperate. If they're using sites like that to try to find a job, then you're not in a good situation if you're using websites that sell your information to other companies.
Oh yeah.
To find a job, and so I felt so bad. And one day the company was just struggling. I had not been doing well for weeks. As far as like making sales, which technically we never sold anything. All we did was, and I'm air quoting here, got you in contact with a representative to talk about your education plans with that specific school. It was such bullshit. What's your swear meter on this?
We don't have one.
Okay. It was such bullshit, and I wanted to quit. I couldn't afford it. It's the only reason I kept working there is I couldn't afford it, but there's one day where they're just going down the line and just firing people. They'd call people into their office. The people would walk out crying, and they would grab their stuff from their computer and leave. And I was getting so excited because I hadn't been doing well, and I was like, this is it. I'm going to get fired. Even though I couldn't afford to lose my job, I was so excited to just lose my job. And they jumped right over me, and I didn't get fired that day. And I went home depressed. I still had a job.
Dude, I will not understand people crying over getting fired for a job that's not their passion.
Yeah.
Like, if you were doing some bullshit job that you hate going to and you live for the weekends and then you get fired, like, I don't know, unless you're like in a real shitty circumstance, like you're providing for your family and you really, really need this job. But like, I feel like those call centers, it's mostly college kids and like, dude, you can find something else. Like,
that's all it was.
You don't have to cry, man. Like, dude, so I got fired from the one in Rexburg.
Did you?
Well, so I didn't get fired. One day my manager's like, hey, Drew, we've been listening to your calls and like, you're not trying at all. Like, you're not giving any pushback. Like, people say no and you're like, all right, have a good day.
See ya. That was like me as a missionary.
Dude, that was, yeah, we'll have to talk about that. That's a fun job.
Yeah, for real.
But, yeah, no, my manager just came up to me and he was like, hey, we noticed you're not trying. Your numbers aren't bad enough yet, but with this trend, we will have to let you go, or you can just quit right now. And I was like, all right, I'm done. And I walked out right then.
Dude.
And so, yeah, dude, they had me quit.
That's what I was hoping would happen to me. I was hoping I'd get fired. I was hoping they'd see that I just didn't care. And I remember messaging my boss, and I was like, how come you guys didn't fire me? He was like, well, we know you're in a slump, but, like, we've seen you work hard before. And I was like, dang it. Why did I have to work hard
Why
before?
do you believe in me? Dude.
And so, yeah, I, like, the next week, we moved to a new building. And I tried it one day, and I was like, hey, I'm going to put in my 2 weeks. And he goes, you don't have to put in your 2 weeks. You can just quit now. And I was like, oh, that's how meaningless this job is they didn't even need me to stick around.
Those jobs, the ones where you can just quit on the spot, those are the worst.
I feel bad because, like, my boss was a good guy, I think. I believe. I think we were all just in the same situation of just, like, working at a terrible place.
Dude, okay, so this is a good segue. What's the worst job you've ever done?
Definitely that job.
Really?
Response marketing is hands down the worst place I've ever. Maybe I shouldn't name drop them, but they changed.
You
their
don't
name,
work for them anymore.
and
Fuck
they
them.
changed. Yeah, fuck them.
Dude,
they changed
those
their
places
name.
are so slimy.
Well, dude, yeah. Okay, like, we'd go in on weeks, and they'd be like, hey, by the way, don't tell people we work for this company anymore. You now work for US Education Plus, or you work for USS Education. We change our name, like, every week. And I was like, nobody changes their name that much for a good reason.
Yeah. Here's how bad those companies are, okay? If those companies were exclusively ran by Jews, I would be like, maybe Hitler had a point.
Holy shit, dude.
Here's the truth. Those companies are largely ran by Mormons.
Yeah. I mean, it was based here in Orem, Utah, down the street from where we are, right next to the Sarah Theater.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. It was just soul-sucking. I remember one day when I finally realized what I was doing and the lives I was ruining when I'd make my sales.
Dude, you'd get people signed up for like a course at ITT Tech.
Yeah.
And which, dude, it's like more expensive than a 4-year. Like, and they get these people signed up, and like financially, these are not viable programs. Like, no employer is gonna be like, oh, I see.
Yeah. Oh, you got
an associate's at ITT Tech.
Yeah, it means you have incredible amounts of debt. Most of the schools are unaccredited, so you can't get proper federal government loans for them. So you have to go through their student loan programs, which are way worse.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one guy, I made the sale, and as soon as I hung up the phone, I felt like an evil person. I felt evil for possibly ruining this guy's life. And all he had to do, like, all I did was get him in contact with the school. So, like, technically I didn't tell him to do it, but, like, I felt so awful.
Dude, did you ever do a summer sales job?
No, I almost did.
Dude, those are fun because, like, they'll go to, like, BYU or BYU Idaho and recruit.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, can you sell a religion that nobody wants? Oh, you can. Okay. How about you work for us?
Yeah, well, all the best missionaries are salesmen.
Well, here's the thing, though. I could sell on my mission because I believed in it.
Yeah.
I could not sell home security in the ghetto in New Orleans because I did not believe in it.
Which is funny because that's why I wasn't a good missionary. Is when I look back on it, it's because I didn't believe in it. I just didn't know how to process those emotions. But the summer sales job I almost did was selling cable TV, and that I did believe in. So
Like you need some TBS in your life.
I panicked and backed out, and I'm just not a good door-to-door salesman. But I do believe if I stuck it out and went that summer, that I actually would have done pretty good.
Dude,
Because it was we represented both DirecTV and Dish Network, so you could go to any gross. You could go to any house. Mm-hmm. And if they had Dish TV, you could be like, hey, let's talk about how you can save money by switching to DirecTV. And if they had DirecTV, you're like, hey, let's talk about how you can switch money by switching to Dish. So it was still a little bit scummy, but it wasn't near as bad as the security systems or, again, those call centers. I think I actually could have done well that summer if I went through with it, but I panicked and backed out. But I had already committed to the summer, so they did a withdrawal fee.
Dude, those jobs, at least as far as home security goes, they make you lie a lot.
Oh yeah.
I knock on the door, but I was in the ghetto, in New Orleans.
You know what? Sorry, I'll let you finish your story, but.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, they would tell me every door I knock on, be like, hey, so I heard there was a break-in in this neighborhood this week.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's why we're here. We're selling security. And every house, there was a break-in this week.
It's New Orleans, man. My buddy's a really effective salesman. He was head of one of the pest control companies for a while. Not the head, but he was up there. It's funny how when you look into the structure of sales companies, it's very similar to MLMs.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, if you think about it, every company is an MLM.
Yeah, in a way. Anyways, so he's still part of a sales company now, and he makes bank. He's a good salesman, but and I have no idea where. Oh, his first sales gig was out in Philadelphia. And he said everyone wanted the security systems, but no one had the credit for it.
That was it.
Nobody passed the credit
I would have
check.
had to sell every day.
Yeah.
If people... Dude, here's the thing. Those security sales, we can make $500 to $700 a sale.
A sale, yeah.
And if you made 2 sales a day, they called it a G day because you earned $1,000 that day.
Yeah.
My buddy from my mission who went with me he's the one who hooked me up with the door-to-door sales. Mm-hmm. Dude, he was having a G day every day.
Dude, one of the weirdest jobs I ever had was I played Satan at a sales convention. Yeah.
You played Satan. What does that mean?
I was Satan, and I went in, one of the keynote speakers hired me to play Satan and talk to him about how I convince salesmen to be bad people. Not bad, morality, but bad salesmen.
Oh. I was like,
yeah, no.
So to convince them to be bad people.
No. Just basically, he had an interview with me as Satan, and we wrote a script together, and, we did a few rehearsals and stuff. But yeah, and he was like, hey, I want you to play the devil, and I'm going to interview you, and you just talk about how how you demotivate salesmen to not reach their potential. It's one of the weirdest jobs I ever had, but they paid me $300
A salesman who's not reaching their potential is usually a person with a conscience.
Yes. That's for real. Anyways, but at that convention, they're their grand finale thing are called these Golden Door awards, and that's for people who made $1 million doing door-to-door sales.
Jeez.
So it's a huge thing because that's a very hard goal to reach, but it is doable. As much as I hate door-to-door sales, you can't deny that you can make bank.
Oh, you make so much money, dude. So I remember when I was doing it, I had a hard time making sales. So my first day, I made a sale. Mm-hmm. And it was people with perfect credit. And I was like, this is going to be the best job ever. First day, and I made a sale. It's $500 a sale. I was like, I'm going to make $500 a day doing this job.
Yeah.
That's so much money. And then for like 3 weeks after my first day, not a single sale. And so I was just struggling. And I asked my buddy who was getting like multiple sales a day. I was like, hey, I have this one. It's a callback. I'm coming back the next day to try to close the sale with them. So I set up a follow-up appointment. I was like, can you come with me and try to close the sale? Because he's closing sales all day, every day, and I hadn't had one in weeks. Dude, he comes in, and he's just, like, bullying them into signing the contract.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is what you do every time.
I remember one of the rebuttals we were taught when I was doing, and this was just cable. One of the rebuttals we were taught was, say, like, you're there and it's just the wife who's at home. And the husband is out, and the wife will say something like, oh, I don't want to make a big decision like this without my husband being present. We were taught to be like, you know what? That's fine. I understand that. Why don't we go ahead and just get things started now since you're so interested in the program? And then if you need to cancel, you can go ahead and cancel. But I would hate for you to be interested in this program and then us leave, and then now you want it, and we don't have it set up for you. So let's go ahead and get this set up, and when your husband comes home and you guys decide this isn't the right thing for both of you, that's fine. You can cancel then. But of course, canceling is impossible.
Same exact thing.
Yeah.
We get, dude, what we would do, women would be like, I just can't make that kind of decision without consulting my husband, which...
It's a valid response.
Great thing. Like, couples should
discuss
consult each
major purchases.
But they told us to be like, what, you're going to have this man, like, control your life? Like, come on. Are you independent? Yeah. Come on. Like,
are you saying you need security from your husband? By the way, pro tip, if anyone listening is a BYU or UVU student, or even just a campus student where there might be sales recruiting going on, one thing I would do when I was a freshman and when I was a super poor college student at UVU, I would call Brick Oven and I would call other restaurants that the sales recruiters would frequent, and I would find out if they had a presentation going on that night, and then I would go for the free food and the presentation, and then I would leave.
I never went to one of those.
If they tried to get me to sign up, I'd give them just fake names.
I got offered to go to those.
Oh, dude, I went all the time.
I never went. I should have.
Free food.
Yeah, I was dumb.
It's kind of like also one of the poorest things I'd do is I had my dad's Costco card, and I would use my student pass to ride the bus to Costco, and then I would just eat the samples on Saturday.
There you go.
Which COVID killed that.
Also $1.50 hot dogs.
Dude, those $1.50 dogs and drinks.
Dude, have you had their pizza?
Yeah.
Pizza at Costco's
like once
phenomenal.
Once a week. Oh, dude. I go to Costco by myself and we'll just eat alone in the cafeteria because I'm a man. But their pizza is so good.
Dude, Amanda and I on our honeymoon, we stayed at a Holiday Inn in Mexico. Across the street from the Holiday Inn was a Costco. And we went to that Costco and got Costco pizza.
It's the best.
And we brought it back to our hotel and ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in like a freaking paradise in Mexico, we still got Costco pizza.
That's what I love is like the more I travel the world, which I haven't traveled a lot, but people are always worried about other towns and other, what could be there. There's going to be a McDonald's in every place in the world you go to. There's going to be a Costco in almost every place in the world you go to. It's like, even if you're scared of trying that culture's food, you will always be able to have your Costco pizza. And that's what I love about what this world has become.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because it's a little sad.
It is, yeah.
Like, there's this part in Guatemala where I was in, which if I was a missionary there now, I'd be stoked.
Yeah.
But when I was there, like, they had... So... The town I was in didn't have any fast food, but like the town that was 45 minutes away, it was like a bigger city, and they had a Pizza Hut and a Burger King.
There we go.
And so like if we got to go there on P-Day, we were stoked because we get Pizza Hut, which we were only allowed to go there for P-Day like once a transfer. So
really,
so you
planned it out.
I had no fast food like my whole mission.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. You're supposed to suffer as a mission.
Yeah, there you go. The mission is suffering.
Yeah.
But now I've looked it up there. That town now has McDonald's and Taco Bell, and I think they have like some other fast food restaurant as well.
Modernization.
So it's kind of sad to me though, seeing like in these places where they never had like American fast food.
Yeah.
And now it's just like popping up.
With no surprise, too, I remember seeing this one study that as soon as a Coca-Cola, or it might have been a McDonald's, as soon as a McDonald's pops up in an area, obesity rates skyrocket in that town.
Oh, I believe that. Dude, you know my Taco Bell joke. It actually says in the Taco Bell app this will cause cancer or reproductive issues.
Because of the California stuff?
Dude, I don't know what... Yeah,
I was assuming it's California. California, you have to legally declare those kind of stuff.
What are they putting in the food? In McDonald's and Taco Bell? There is... All right, well, let's move on here. What's your favorite job that you've ever done?
Ooh, I mean, it's got to be the one I do right now, honestly.
Okay. You don't have to give too much details on it.
No, I work for an advertising agency. I'm a copywriter. And the networking is great. I do a lot of personal projects on the side just from the people I've met. So now I have access to not just cameras and camera equipment, but people who know how to operate them well. So it makes it really fun for creatives like me who want to do stuff on the side, and then my friends do stuff on the side too, and I help out because that's how it is. But outside of that job, if I couldn't choose my current job, I really loved just being a lifeguard in the summer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, that was my high school job. I was a lifeguard, or honestly, EFY.
Oh, really?
I loved working EFY. Which is, for anyone who might not know, in listeners, it's especially for youth. It is a Mormon
youth camp.
It's a week-long camp. We do them at various campuses throughout the summer. I worked 52 weeks of EFY, so a full year of my life I've worked at EFY.
Crazy.
That was over 5 summers. But yeah.
So where I grew up, there were no Mormons. So when I went to EFY, all my buddies made fun of me because they were like, "Oh, you went to Mormon camp? How was Mormon camp, bud?"
I liked EFY because for 2 reasons. One, believe it or not, I was pretty socially awkward when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. When I was in middle school, I was very uncomfortable with myself, and EFY kind of taught me how to come out of my shell. I just had good counselors who taught me how to embrace the weird and be more charismatic. And 2, I grew up Mormon, and at the time, same thing. I didn't have a lot of Mormon friends, just weren't many. And so for me to go from 2 Mormons at my school to a camp where there's hundreds of Mormons all in the same area was awesome for me.
Yeah, dude, I grew up with little Mormon. So my best friend in high school was Mormon, and he was my only friend.
Really?
And he went to a different high school.
Same. So a lot of my best friends went to a different high school, but they're Mormon.
And so all my friends were not Mormon. When I was at school, I never associated with Mormons. They're it's the point where even now trying to be friends with Mormons, I'm like, dude, you fucking weirdo. I have a hard time being friends with Mormons. Mm-hmm. Amanda wishes I was better. We should make friends with people in our ward, and then we meet people in our ward. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, dude. I went to my ward. I'm inactive /X. I don't know. But I went to my ward the day my grandma died because it just felt right, Mm-hmm. Not because I believe in anything, but it just felt like a good way to honor her was to go to church that day. And dude, they were overly friendly in that ward so much. And I regret being turned off by it. But I remember this one woman, she was like, "You just seem so interesting. I'd love to invite you over for dinner this week." And I was like, holy shit. I haven't even said a word to you. You're inviting me to dinner. And I was like, man, this is, it's a little strong.
They're shooting their shot.
But EFY is, outside of what I do now, EFY is definitely one of my favorite. I say to this day, it's one of the best headaches I've ever had. It was stressful. It was long. You're working with teenagers, and so that's just a pain in it itself. But I actually loved it a lot.
Well, that is a cool one. I went to it 1 year, and I was 17. Mm-hmm. So it was almost to the point where part of it, I was like, I feel a little too old for some of this. But yeah, dude, and it's crazy. The next year I'm in BYU, Idaho, and one of my counselors I just see walking on campus because they're also a student, and I was like, man, we are that close in age.
It's weird.
Well, next question. What is the worst thing you've ever done while on the job?
Ooh. That's a good question. It's nothing unethical. I think of like, it's going to sound so stupid because I've never done anything that's unethical or illegal at work. Though I definitely should have I know what it is now. It's worse than this, just that it's gross and I was depressed. Every Friday at the call center job, they'd get us free pizza. Mm-hmm. And then they'd just leave it in the office. And it was the same pizza place every Friday, so we got sick of it after a while, and we'd eat less and less pizza, but they'd always order the same amounts. And then they wouldn't put it in the fridge. They wouldn't put it. It was just pizza being left through the rest of the week. And it was like Thursday, a full 6 days afterwards, I'd still be eating that pizza.
Like, not refrigerated?
Not refrigerated.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
That's shameful. That's not an unethical story. That's just a fat man story.
Yeah. No, I think it's more depression than it is fat man. It's definitely a little bit of both, but I think it's more depressed. Have you seen the 5-Year Engagement? Mm-mm. They do a study in that movie where they find out that when people are depressed, they're more likely to eat stale food. And so I think about that of like, I was just so sad that I would eat 6-day-old pizza from the pizza factory.
I've never had the pizza factory.
It's good.
Yeah?
It's good. It's just we had it every Friday for like 6 months straight.
Dude, the call center I worked at in Rexburg, that was hell. They got us Pizza Hut every Friday.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that every call center does.
They just were like, hey, how about you guys want some pizza? And in exchange, you don't kill yourselves?
Yeah, it really did feel like that. It's kind of like how every town has a McDonald's. I feel like every call center has their Pizza Fridays. I think every call center is the exact same job all over the world.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
You can walk into anyone and be like, oh, I know this place.
So, moving forward, this is the part that HR really wants to listen to.
All right.
Okay, what's your favorite...
What's up, Nicole?
What's your favorite illegal drug?
Ooh. I mean, I haven't done many, so pretty much the only illegal drug I've done, and it's only illegal in certain parts of America now, is weed. Mm-hmm. But I don't even like it that much. Yeah. It makes me too paranoid.
Okay.
So, but I still enjoy times I've done it. Mm-hmm. And when I learn to embrace the paranoia and embrace just kind of what's going on, it can be a really fun drug.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's not as fun as I was hoping.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not Clayton.
No, Clayton, without a second, like, no hesitation whatsoever. I was like, what's your favorite illegal cocaine?
I want to try acid.
I think acid, any of the hallucinogens, like I can't even think of words right now. Like acid, DMT, mushrooms, things that take you to a different dimension. That sounds very appealing to me.
Yeah, it freaks me out, but also I want to try it too.
Well, you talk to people who've done it, and they're like, I understand myself and the universe. You know what's funny? More.
I used to be afraid of doing acid and mushrooms because I was afraid of meeting God, and now I want to try them because I want to meet God. I think it'd be really fun. I think what I have a hard time with is anyone who does those drugs say you just have to accept what's going on around you. So if you feel like the room is eating you alive, let it eat you. And I know that's what I'll struggle with.
So speaking of meeting God, what race do you think God is?
Ooh.
You know what I hope he is? I really hope. I think the funniest thing, if I die and I go to heaven and I meet God, and God is Chinese and he doesn't speak Chinese, he speaks English, but has a thick Chinese accent. That is what I want God to be. I would laugh so hard.
Is that really one of your questions, or is that
no? That was just random.
One off the top. What God? I mean, I was raised Mormon, so obviously I see God as a white man. But no, I think it would be fun if he was like, what if he was one that was unique that we don't see much of, like Nepali? And you're like, oh, or Tibetan. What if God's
And
Tibetan?
I would have been like, oh, Chinese.
Yeah. and God just constantly has to correct people. Like, oh, God, I didn't know you're from China. He's like, I'm Tibetan. You're like, oh, sorry, right. But that would also be the most Chinese thing, too, because Chinese people would be like, nah, you're Chinese. We own your country. And he's like, no, I bless my people to be independent. They're like, nah, but we took over. We're getting political on this podcast.
Which is, we'll see. So have you, I think you said no to this already, but have you ever shoplifted before?
Ooh. I feel like I have accidentally.
How?
Yeah.
Not on purpose?
Never intentionally.
Never on purpose.
No, never intentionally. I'm sorry. I know you wanted this to be a much more fun interview, but
you know the comics, Mark Normand. Mm-hmm. Dude, I was listening to his podcast with Sam Morrell. Dude, that guy shoplifts all the time.
I was just
for fun because he's just a lunatic.
Yeah, I was just listening to Two Bears, One Cave, and they're talking about Norman will just steal even today.
Yeah, no, he has money. He doesn't need it. He just does it.
It's a thrill.
Yeah.
That's my Mark Norman. Comedy.
Dude, I
Thank you. I'm Kevin Hart.
I really, when I discovered Mark Norman, I loved his comedy immediately.
Yeah.
And I tried to get Clayton to watch it, and I could not get him to because he hated his cadence so much. He's like,
yeah.
what, you want me to watch Jerry Seinfeld? I was like, I know. I was like, dude, he's nothing like Seinfeld. He just has some 1950s cadence, but
yeah.
If you listen to the context of his jokes, it's all modern.
Him and Sam Morrell both are just such great comics. And Morrell's very slow paced too, but he has such a sinister voice to it. Mm-hmm. I love listening to him.
I'm a big fan of both of them.
Yeah.
I saw Sam Morrell when he came to Utah. I really wanted to see Mark Norman, but we were too broke. We did not have enough money.
Oh, no. I saw Norman when he came with Ari Shafir.
That would have been a fun show.
That was a great show.
Who was it? Steve Rannazzisi.
Ari Shafir, Ian Fidance. Who else was there? Shane Gillis.
Oh, yeah, that would...
And Shane Gillis, that's one of the best shows I've been to in a long time.
Oh, yeah, you went to that one with me, dude. I think right now, Shane Gillis, he might, in my opinion, might be the best comic in the world right now.
Right now? I'd agree to that.
Just not enough people know him.
Yeah.
But of all the live... Because when I was in Spokane, they'd give the comedians comics cards. So if the show didn't sell out, you could go for free. Because they want you to learn and watch headliners and get better.
Plus, you fill out the seats and whatnot, too.
Yeah. So I would go to shows almost every weekend when I was in Spokane. So I've been to at least 100 shows in comedy clubs to see headliner sets.
Yeah.
The Shane Gillis show was by far the best set I've ever witnessed. I mean, my favorite headliner.
The one I'll always fangirl over the most is still Dave Attell.
Dude,
Dave Attell is like a legend. He doesn't do a lot of public appearances. He doesn't do a lot of
He doesn't do specials. So it's just one of those things you hear about, and you hear all these stories of Attell, and then when he comes into town, it really does feel like some kind of mythical legend has made his way over, and it was a great show. In Spokane, if you were a comic and the show was sold out, but you still wanted to go, you could go work the door.
Nice.
And just show up, not really working the door, but you'd help seat people. Mm-hmm. So the person working the door would be like, all right, take these people to table A4 or whatever.
Yeah.
And you fill up the show. And, I mean, it's unpaid labor, but if you do it, you get to stand in the room during the show, and you get free food and drinks.
Oh, nice.
So it's a pretty good perk.
Yeah.
So I would show up. If there was a comic who I really wanted to see, I would show up and help seat. Dave Attell came through, and...
You said he just walked right through.
He didn't come through the back. There was a back door for comedians to enter where they could go straight to the green room and not have to deal with fans.
Yeah.
Dude, he went right through the front door, which the front door of the Spokane Comedy Club is right on the street. Mm-hmm. It's right. It's kind of like how an old school comedy club is, where it's right on the street, where there's traffic and there's a line of people on the sidewalk, and he just walked right through, and he walked right past me. And I was like, did this person just sneak in? I look, and I couldn't tell it was him because he had his hood on.
Yeah.
And he looks homeless.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just bizarre seeing Dave Attell. And then, he just went up, he seemed like a normal dude. Like, yeah. And his set was phenomenal.
It's so fun.
I still think Shane Gillis had a better set, the one I went to, but the Dave Attell show I went to, very good.
That guy just knows comedy.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, Shane Gillis, Dave Attell, some of the best out there right now.
So you haven't shoplifted before, so here's an assignment.
And I'm looking at one of your future questions. I'm very worried about it.
I gotta hide these.
I know. I shouldn't have looked.
Right, there we go. So here's an assignment. Go to Maverick. They have self-checkout. Buy like 5 things. Don't scan one of them.
Dude, yeah. The grocery store right by me just switched to self-checkout, and now at night, at like 10:30, it closes at 11. There's only like 2 employees there. And it is so easy to just grab some creamies and just walk out.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
All right.
I'm not. By the way, I think shoplifting's immoral, and you're going to burn in hell if you do it. But just so we have better podcast answers in the future, I think you should do it.
I'll report back when I do it. How about that?
Okay, so next question. What group of people is more annoying? Blind? You haven't even heard the options yet.
Oh, man. Yeah, I just know you.
Blind people or deaf people?
Ooh. Oh, man. You're going to make me answer that.
Of course.
I would say blind people, because like the world is much easier for a deaf person to navigate without hearing than a blind person without sight, in my opinion. Because a deaf person, if they can't speak and can't hear, they just pull out their phone and write out what they need to say.
Dude, yeah, deaf people are going to have robots speaking for them.
Blind people don't even know where to look for the person to help.
Dude, I agree. Fuck blind people. They're just in the way. They bring dogs everywhere. Like, I don't want your dog smelling carrots at the grocery
my
store.
Shin with those canes.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to get groceries. I don't need your dog sniffing the fruits before I buy them.
There's one time we were doing the open mic at Java Junkie, and I saw the same blind guy walk past the window like 4 times, and I was like, will somebody please go out there and help him, please? I felt so bad. And maybe he was just killing time. I hope so, but it did look like he was lost, and I felt so bad. Yeah, anyways, that's my answer. I think blind people are more annoying because they have to ask for more, and they have to go out of their way more.
They're so
Where
annoying.
I think a deaf person
They're
can
so
navigate
stupid,
pretty
right?
simply.
So stupid.
But smarter than us in ways. Did you ever watch that documentary about the kid who learned echolocation?
Yeah, I mean, if they were so smart, their eyes would work, right?
That's awful.
All right. As far as serial killers go, who is the GOAT?
Okay. It's got to be the Zodiac Killer, because nobody knows. All these years later, people are still trying to figure out.
That is the answer right there.
Yeah.
No one knows. Everyone knows of him, but no one knows who it is.
Yeah, like, say, he's got to be dead by now, by natural causes.
Yeah.
And people are still trying to figure out, like, this was in the 70s he did his work, right? Mm-hmm. And, like, they just decoded one of his codes like a few months ago. I think it was like 6 months ago to a year. Someone finally decoded it.
It would be so awesome if they decoded them, but it was just like nonsense. So
I want that.
By the way, Splash Mountain's the best ride at Disneyland.
I want one of his notes to just be like, test note, please ignore. Or like, do not remove under perjury of law, something like that.
That's my favorite answer. Clayton said Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah,
which he's a good one.
My gut was to say Bundy.
Bundy's good. Here's my problem with Bundy. How can you be the GOAT if you only killed women? Right? Where's the challenge in that? Right?
I don't even know who the Zodiac Killer.
I mean, dude, he killed everyone.
Yeah,
dude, he killed men. He killed women.
You know who doesn't get enough credit is Jack the Ripper. He was pretty badass.
Yeah, I don't know enough about him.
Because he's British. We don't care about our foreign killers.
Yeah, it just sounds... Since he's British, it doesn't sound terrifying. You know, like what's he gonna?
If I understand correctly, there's a lot of cool lore around Jack the Ripper, and that he was like industrial England when like there were no global warming was not a thing, you know, and so England is just full of just like coal and smoke and fog, and England's already a foggy city too, and so like people would always just see the silhouette of Jack the Ripper before they got killed in the background. So yeah, Jack the Ripper is pretty cool. I'm not even sure if Jack the Ripper's real. I think he is.
Maybe it's multiple serial killers.
Yeah,
and got credit for it. Yeah,
there's got to be a serial killer in like India that we're not talking about who has just.
There's so many people in India.
There's so many people. He can kill huge amounts.
Yeah,
and we don't even know.
And they're like, it was that dude with dark hair.
What about Coney? Coney was pretty good, right?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Coney was so great. He had a viral campaign after he was killed too.
Dude, yeah, there's some good one. Dude, you know what? The worst place to be a serial killer has to be the United States, because there's so much diversity in the U.S. compared to other countries.
Yeah.
That, like, I think it makes it easier to spot people out. Where, like, dude, if you're a serial killer in China, they're going to be like, it was that dude.
What do you look like? He was Chinese.
Yeah, he was 5'8", between 6 foot, black hair.
We're all Chinese.
Like, I don't know. That's got to be so much easier to kill people if everyone is the same.
Should we write a movie about a minion skilled serial killer who just kills other minions? I'm like, and what did the suspect look like? Like, God, Jesus Christ, we can't get anything out of these guys.
Oh, man.
There's got to be there's got to be a serial killer out in like India or China that's just doing great numbers.
Dude,
that we're not.
Have you seen the new documentary on Netflix for John Wayne Gacy?
No, that guy was okay. So I've been thinking about John Wayne Gacy recently because my aunt, who I never talked to, when she heard I was doing one of these comedy festivals that I'm going to, she told her friend, who's like 80 years old, to like look for me while I'm out there. And then her friend messaged me and she goes, "Hey, I understand you're coming out. I'm gay, so I'm safe." And I was like, "Yeah, just like John Wayne Gacy. That's how he got it." He's like, "Hey kids, I'm gay, so I'm safe."
Yeah, John Wayne Gacy is a little on the nose because gay is also in his name.
Yeah, I love that his name was John Wayne. Also, John Wayne Gacy Jr., a song by Sufjan Stevens, fantastic.
I will have to look that up.
See, the podcast got interesting once we actually got to stuff I knew a little bit about.
There we go.
Once we got onto serial killers.
I mean, I think this is all interesting.
It's fun.
Okay. Last question before we go to a segment here. And then I have a few more questions.
Yeah.
I think it's the one you read. What's your favorite racial slur?
It wasn't that one. Any of the white ones, like honky. Honky is so funny to me. Tom Segura has a whole bit about it.
I like that bit.
So for the listeners, he's talking about how, like, if you meet a man who's not rolling on the floor laughing when he gets called a white slur, you need to run.
He called me a honky, and then I stabbed him.
Like, what did you do after you got up from the ground laughing so much? Honky is probably the best, honestly. Honky.
Dude. You're from Ohio.
Damn, that's a cold-ass honky.
Have you been... So, I don't know if Ohio's like Pennsylvania. They might be very different, like Philly and Cincinnati are probably...
Like Cleveland, I think, is probably more similar to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Like the Cleveland's a very industrial area. Anyways,
yeah, no, Pittsburgh and Cleveland, places I never want to go. They are similar.
Yeah.
Also Cincinnati, but
hey.
So what I learned when I visited Amanda's family for the first time was white racial slurs, and I learned that there was more than cracker and honky.
Mm-hmm.
That was my favorite thing. I love it. So my favorite one now is ginzo.
Ginzo?
Yeah, for Italians.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, get those fucking ginzos out of here.
What's crazy
that sounds
like,
so much fun. Or
I learned
Polak.
Polak is a funny one. Like, that's when someone can be racist about other white people. That's like ultra racist. That's like S tier.
Yeah,
racist.
dude, that's like we're freaking Asians or something.
Yeah.
Dude, have you ever heard an Asian talk about other Asian
Oh yeah,
groups?
dude.
They go hard in the paint.
Dude, I didn't know Asian cultures hated other Asian cultures until I had a Korean roommate. And I was like, so Japan's pretty cool, right? And he's like, fuck Japan. Fuck the Japanese. And he just went off on this huge tirade, and I was like, holy shit. And then I realized, when Japan did what they did in World War II to all the other Asian cultures, it's just ingrained in those other cultures to hate Japan because it takes a while to heal. World War II, in the grand scheme of like the world history, is very recent.
Oh, yeah. And, they did not make any friends. China's not making any friends.
No, everyone hates China. All the other Asian cultures hate China.
Yeah.
But, like, that's punching up.
I want to meet an Asian who hates the Thai.
Or, is it Ali Wong? Who, she's like, my mom is half Filipino. No, yeah, my mom's half Filipino and Korean. My dad is half Chinese and Thai. And all their family get together and shit on the Vietnamese. It's a great
sounds
joke.
Like good family bonding.
Great joke. Ali Wong is a great comedian.
I think for a family to be close, you have to have a group of people who you hate for no reason. And my family that was Russians, because Spokane is such a white city, our diversity was Russian. There's lots of Russians. Like, you go to the mall, there's Russian newspapers.
What was your slur for Russians? Potato breath?
We did not have a slur. Potato breath would have been a good one.
Yeah, those fucking vodka drinkers.
So we just called them Russians, and we openly spoke about how much we hated them.
Yeah.
And that's a fun thing in Spokane if you're going car shopping.
Because Russians are like people who will murder you, too.
Oh, yeah, dude. And I'm not saying they commit most of the crime in Spokane. But if you were able to get statistics on it.
I'm just saying, look at the numbers.
For how many Russians there are in Spokane and how many of them have stolen cars, there is a lot. We would, if you're like going car shopping and the person, like you meet up someone on Craigslist and you want to buy their car and you show up and the person has a Russian accent, we were just gone. We wouldn't even bother talking to them. That's how ingrained it is, because in Spokane, if it's a Russian, everyone believes, well, they stole it. It went through a chop shop. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a million problems with it. We're not going to buy it. And so, that's just the way it is there.
Yeah. That's crazy. No, Eastern Washington, Northern Idaho, those are places where if I keep my mouth shut and just like put on a flannel shirt, I can blend right into those people, man.
Dude, well, Spokane, like downtown Spokane, it's a pretty liberal place. Like, the liberal people in Spokane are a lot more liberal than the liberal people here in Utah, like a lot more.
Yeah, well, it's because they got Seattle as their big brother to look up to.
Unlike Utah, I mean, Spokane County did vote for Obama. So...
Did Utah County definitely didn't. Did any counties in Utah vote for Obama?
I don't think so. I don't even think Salt Lake County did.
I feel like Salt Lake has gotten incredibly liberal, especially during the Trump years.
Yeah, no. I mean, everyone, if you were one step to the left of like mainstream conservatives, I feel like everyone amped up their game during the Trump years. Oh, yeah. Everyone.
So, but also it is isolated to pretty much just Salt Lake City. Even Salt Lake County, you still have West Valley in there. You still have Sandy and Draper. Very conservative areas. So it does seem like if you're liberal, move to Salt Lake City because you will find your tribe there. But yeah, I don't think it's even strong enough to get all of Salt Lake County.
Yeah. And there's no way. I don't think Mitt Romney lost a single county in Utah. No. Like, there's no way. No. Like, what? He's, like, pro-war crimes and Mormon? Of course, I'm going to vote for him. He's going to kill all the sand Mexicans for me? Okay. Let's do this. And then people who were so terrified of Obama being in office, I was like, dude, he killed plenty of Middle Easterners. You can chill out, man.
Well, the whole Trump thing is fascinating to me, of like how many people I knew who despised Trump when he was running for president And then once he became president, they bought all in because he
was not Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Well, and because he was Republican and he was their guy. It was just because they're Republican voters. And it's like, well, here's the
thing. Obama, whether you like him or not, very charming as hell. I mean, he's very charismatic.
He's got that beautiful smile that makes us forget he drone struck a lot of kids.
Yeah. Hillary Clinton, zero charisma.
Do you remember when she tried to do the Pokemon Go reference and everyone was like, well, fuck this bitch?
Yeah. No, dude, it was, yeah, if, I think that was the election. There were a lot of people even this last one, lots of people were like, well,
No, I loved Obama, but he was a terrible president as far as the war goes.
Dude, yeah.
I think a lot of people critique Biden for pulling the troops out, but the reality is we spent 22 years in a war that collapsed the instant we took all the troops out.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to get too much into politics here.
Come on, let's get fired.
I'm a borderline anarchist. Like, I hate everything the U.S. government does. Yeah. I hate what we do around the world. I hate what we do to our own citizens. It's the evil empire. Mm-hmm. All right, that's enough of my part. I'm going to go too far. I'm going to talk. If I was drinking, I'd be like, you know what? Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Obama, all war criminals. They should all be in prison.
And they are. So.
All right, so we're going to do a segment here. It's called Employee of the Week, where I go over a person who got fired for something they did on the internet.
Oh, nice.
Did you hear about Bodega Bro?
No.
Okay, this dude was called Bodega Bro, and I'm going to play off my phone. I'm going to play one of his TikToks. So he was just this kid from the Midwest, and he moved to New York, and it just blew his mind. All the crazy, like, seeing gay people, seeing stuff.
Oh, jeez.
Like,
come on, man. Come on.
The dude wasn't hateful at all.
Yeah, he was just, like, impressed.
He was just ignorant.
Yeah.
And so that was enough to get him, which you almost feel bad for the dude, but the first thing that went viral was a clip of him, like, shit-talking bodegas, and that got people fired up. And the next clip of him, he is wearing an NAACP shirt because he lives in an all-black neighborhood in New York. He was like, yeah, I really want to vibe with these people. And apparently that got him in. That was the one that got him fired. But I'm gonna play one of his TikToks. I want to know what you think.
Okay, so I just moved to New York, and I'm trying to go grocery shopping. And so I type in, like, grocery stores on my Apple Maps. And, like, every fucking one I go to, like, I'm walking too. Like, they're like this shit. Or, like, fucking...
Yeah, that's a bodega.
Grocery store. Like, I'm trying to get, like, egg, yogurt, like, cheese, like, shit like that, right? Like, look at this place. Hey, yo, let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese. The Aki way. Like, you know those TikToks?
This is what people cancel them for?
Yes. Dude, and they found out where he worked, and they fired him.
I don't know what the fuck I'm about to do for dinner.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I
Whole Foods at. Like, I'm about to eat fucking, like cereal and ramen for dinner. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so he should get fired in the fact that he couldn't find eggs at the bodega. So it clearly shows that he doesn't have good finding skills.
Yes. I do think he got fired. I feel like they had to have hated him because the stuff he did online, that being the reason he got fired, insane.
It can't be just that video alone, because that's just a tourist.
Dude,
that's
he blew up on TikTok and Twitter.
Yeah.
And he got so much hate for that video.
Video.
Yeah. And then people, like, dug in and found out where he worked, and they bombarded his company. And so his company was like, we have to
we gotta get rid of you.
I do think overall, like, now what he got fired for is insane, like, for his TikToks, because those weren't even, like, moderately offensive.
That's just a guy who just doesn't understand bodegas. He's not even talking to you. It's his TikTok, which means he's talking to his friends, the people who follow him. He's talking back to the Midwestern people. He's like, whoa, look at it out here. He didn't say it that way, but it's just a guy who's fascinated. He doesn't know he's fascinated. He's confused. Like, he's confused
Dude, and he moved there during Pride Month. So he had TikToks like going through Pride Parade and be like, "What's up?" and like saying hi. He's like, "Look at all the gay people." And like he wasn't even being. The thing is, he's not even like hateful. He's like
just impressed. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
He's never seen
this
that
before.
many people in one location, let alone all of them being gay.
Exactly.
If he's from a Midwest town, that means he didn't know it, but there were 4 gay people in his school, but he thought there's only one.
Dude, that's how.
That's those Midwest.
That's how the mission was. On the mission, I thought there were 0 gay dudes on my mission. Now that I'm home, I found out there's at least 5.
Working EFY, almost every male counselor I worked with, I swear, is now gay. And go them. You know, I'm happy that they're out and like
very
happy.
From my 1 year at EFY. Very believable. That checks out.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Almost every male counselor, and it's obviously not every male counselor, but a huge number of male counselors have come out of the closet since quitting their jobs at EFY. And like I said, go them. But it did shock me of like, never would have guessed. So that was fun. That bodega one to me just seems so tame. But that to me, that's why I hate cancel culture so much. Like, this guy shits on a bodega, and I get New York loves their bodegas. And honestly, next time I go to New York City, I want to go to a bodega and get like a chopped cheese. Like, the bodegas are cool. And clearly he just didn't understand them. But that's not a reason to call a job. I'm like, hey, man, your employee fucking made fun of bodegas, man. He's not, I'm saying this in a Boston accent, not a New Yorker. The guy's not a New Yorker. You can't let him work for you.
Oh, dude, yeah. New Yorkers were pissed at him. Dude, did you see that bodega owner get in a fight last month and he stabbed the dude?
No.
Dude, classy story.
Yeah.
So this chick comes in and her EBT card doesn't work for the chips she's trying to buy. So she gets mad.
I did read
and she
about
tells her boyfriend, is like, it didn't work. And then so he comes in with the idea he's going to like strong arm them to getting food. And he hops over the counter and starts punching the old man who's like the clerk from, I don't know, he was from some sort of like Middle Eastern or like country like Nepal or like out in that region.
Yeah, we're talking a lot about Nepal today.
Immigrant, like first immigration immigrant. So like, and the dude's getting attacked. He gets his hand on a knife and stabs the dude attacking him. Gets arrested.
The owner got arrested?
The owner gets arrested and booked for murder.
For defending himself?
Yeah, it was crazy. And that's why I want to go to a bodega.
And that's why you should always carry cash on you. Is to prevent DB. Was it their debit card?
No, EDP. That's food stamps.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like super classy story.
For real. Oh man, that's bad.
All right, so we're not gonna do all the questions I had planned, but that is okay.
Yeah. I've had fun so far. I know the shoplifting was a
dud.
Part.
That was a dud.
So for the rest, I've had
go
fun.
and make a story for us. Come back.
Tell
us how it went
when you interview Ryan tomorrow.
You might love it.
Yeah.
If you had to wipe one country off the map with a nuke, which one would it be?
Michigan.
No, country. It can't be.
It
also
technically is a state.
Also can't be the country you live in.
Yeah. Let's see. I feel so bad because the countries that deserve it, their people don't. It's just the governments. Like, I want to say North Korea.
Well, let's find one that the people deserve it. What country
would we
has? I'm Googling it right now.
Would we miss Italy?
Yes, I really want to visit Italy.
I want to visit Italy, but I've heard that like Croatia is a hidden Italy. So like you can still get a lot of that Italian charm of like the neighborhoods and whatnot, and still by visiting Croatia.
Okay, so I just Googled what country has the most pedophiles.
Oh, that's a great question. It's going to be America, isn't it?
We'll find out.
Maybe Japan.
I actually don't think it's going to be America. I think fucking children is a lot more taboo in the U.S. than other countries.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, come on. Where's the list here? It's supposed to give me the data.
I'm waiting on the edge of my seat for the answer.
Number 1, South Africa. Number 2, India.
South Africa's got to go then.
But there's so many people in India. which means there's a lot more pedophiles in India.
Oh, are you doing per capita?
So the list was per capita. So per capita, there's more in South Africa. But if we're just...
But I mean, India is also one of the number one fabric manufacturers in the world.
Yeah.
A lot of your denim comes from India. How do you feel knowing that the jeans you made were made by a pedophile?
I mean, if we've learned anything
are you
from
gonna put on pants the same way ever again?
if we've learned anything about Jeffrey Epstein and stuff, people who are pedophiles do great work.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
Here's a question. Do you think Jeffrey Epstein, is he an alpha Chad or is he a beta bitch? What would you say?
Ooh. Epstein? Oh, he's a beta bitch for sure. Yeah, why do you think the Clintons had him killed?
Well, yeah, I think
because they knew he was going to blab.
Here's why.
That's why he was killed. They knew whoever killed him. I am joking about the Clintons, but only kind of. Whoever killed him, and he definitely was killed.
Yeah.
They did it because they knew he was going to blab.
I think he's a bitch.
So he's a bitch.
For a different reason, though.
Yeah.
He didn't get his hands dirty. Like, if you're going to do it, the way you do is you buy a van, you circle a playground.
You give out some candy.
You don't just pull some strings and get shiploads of children sent your way.
Yeah.
You got to work for it. You got to throw one in your van, drive them to the woods. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
He didn't put the work in.
Yeah.
That's my biggest beef.
And let's get fired, right? You know what I heard Epstein was really into?
What?
Was pegging.
Really?
Yeah, he likes getting pegged. That's I'm going to hell now.
By children?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, that's what he liked. He likes getting pegged. So he's a bitch,
It's like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
2-inch dick. Come on.
No, the peg is where you give them a dildo.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Man, what an awkward thing to do when you're 8, man.
Yeah. What a awful subject.
What a cool way to meet the president.
Yeah. You know what? I'm still gonna stick with Italy for
Italy.
Yeah. I just
for no reason whatsoever.
I feel like we've gotten what we need out of them. Or Greece maybe.
Oh man, so you just really hate the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
It's like
the white Mediterranean.
Fuck those people.
Yeah. Like I would love to go to the Mediterranean side of like France and Spain or like the African areas. I can't remember which countries are over there, like Morocco. I think.
Go to Casablanca.
I think you can get all the beautiful stuff there, and if Italy left, I think we'd be like, meh.
Maybe. I've seen some pictures of the
But
beaches.
I don't want to say that right now because one of my favorite comedians is vacationing there right now, and I don't want him to die.
Okay.
So
when
Bert Kreischer
we'll hold
gets
off.
back,
We'll hold off on the nukes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, all right. We'll send him to South Africa. Final answer: pedophiles need to die.
All right. Next question: should women be barred from the workplace the week they're on their period?
Oh God, no. That's such an outdated belief of women can't handle their emotions when they're on their period. It's just a bunch of guys who don't understand periods and don't understand the cycles. No.
I'm married and I still don't understand it.
Yeah, most men don't, and it's fine because we don't experience it. So the best people can do is explain it to us, and that's only going to get us so far. So, but no, there's weird dusty things in this water. What the fuck did you serve me?
What the heck? That is weird.
Yeah, I might die. Anyways,
maybe it was in the glass.
Yeah, it might have been.
Or it's beard particles.
So no, I don't think women need to take a week off when they're menstruating because I think that's such an outdated.
Well, the only reason I asked the question is because if I was bleeding out of my dick for a week,
Yeah.
I would think I deserve a week off.
Look, I would definitely take it off if they let me, for sure. But that's just because we're lazy.
Amanda is like anti-feminist because she's like, why the fuck did they get us out of the house? Like, she's like, I don't want a job. Like, I want to hang out with my dog. Okay. Like,
But I mean, that's the point of feminism, is that you can choose.
yeah. Well, now it's with the state of the economy, it's not becoming a choice. We need both parents working.
Dude, for real, man. For real. That's my main incentive to get married, is because I want to live in a house.
And maybe it's because the lizard people want to break down the nuclear family and have us shove our children in daycares.
Part of me hopes that lizard's conspiracy is true.
I really hope it is.
Like, one day, just whoever the president is all of a sudden like, you know what? It's time. And just unzips.
So I don't listen to him. I don't believe the things he says. But
you want Alex Jones to be right on a few things.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I want not a few things, everything.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I want him to be right.
Yeah.
I want to die, go to heaven, and God be like, he was right.
Yeah.
You guys are idiots for not. It was like the lizard people were really good at making him look crazy.
Yeah. They did their job, but like the gay frogs thing was a thing, dude. The Sandy Hook had really good actors. Jeez.
Dude, there was some shit he did back in the early days. Do you know the conspiracy about him that he's actually Bill Hicks?
No.
Have you heard that?
No, but that would be so
People
fun.
believe that Bill Hicks died and then Alex Jones emerged and that it's the same person. He changed his identity.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be great. That would be the greatest character.
Do you listen to Kill Tony?
Every now and then, yeah.
Dude, every time Alex Jones is on, it's a blast.
Yeah.
He is such a funny guy.
And that's what I get, is like people who are like, how can you listen to Joe Rogan? And I was like, just because I listen to him doesn't mean I believe him. It means I know great entertainment when I see it. The Alex Jones episode of Joe Rogan where it's like 5 hours.
With Eddie Bravo.
And they get into that huge fight about flat Earth. Is one of the greatest moments in podcasting history. You don't have to believe either of them.
Yeah.
You can just listen and be like, look at these idiots yell at each other. It's hilarious.
Dude, I hope he's right with all my heart.
There's some things I hope he's not right on. Like, obviously, you know, I feel so terrible for the Sandy Hook victims who had like, they had to go through all that shit. And also, ironically...
I hope, yes, I also hope real children died.
Jeez. Fuck, not in that way. That's awful. That's so awful. But if we don't joke about it, we'll never stop them. No, and like I feel so terrible for those parents who lost their children and then had to hear this host say that they're actors and then all his crazy followers go after him. Like, I do feel bad for the harassment that they endured. And what's crazy is all this shit going down with Trump right now. Jones might be hugely responsible for that because of his leaked texts.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it. Well, it wasn't leaked. It was
taken.
His
attorney
his lawyer
made
a mistake, which
oh man,
I don't think it was a mistake. I think someone's trying to fuck him.
Yeah,
but dude, you know, back in the day, like have you heard of the Bohemian Grove?
No.
It's this like wooded area in California. They have like a giant owl statue and shit. And like politically elite people go there. Like there's clips of like the Kennedys
kind of like
the Bushes, the
Skull
Clintons.
And Bones. Is that the Bushes are part of the Skull and Bones? Or
Alex Jones,
something like that.
You got to go into a dark place on the internet to find it, but it is real.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Alex Jones, crazy dude. Do I think that there's like terrible people who are trying to kill all of us?
Yes.
Very possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't think they're like as crazy Illuminati as people think. I think
they're a lot more they're a lot smarter about it.
Yeah, I think they're just called the CIA.
Yeah.
But I
mean, honestly though.
Dude, he filmed with a camcorder, got stuck into the Bohemian Grove.
Oh,
and
I did
he
hear
has
about
like
this.
videos of them doing crazy rituals, and in the clips he has, like the bushes are there.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's some weird shit going on. Again, I don't watch Alex Jones. I've never seen an episode of his show.
Yeah.
The only times I've ever seen him is when he's on podcasts that I like. I hope he's right. I hope he's right about a
It
lot
would
of
be so crazy if he was right on some of those.
that would make our world so much more entertaining.
I do a joke about it of like, there's the conspiracy that the vaccines have 5G chips that the billionaire elites are going to use to kill off everyone who got vaccinated, and that's exactly why I got vaccinated. I don't want to live with billionaires. Do you think when the billionaires kill off everyone who got vaccinated, do you think those who lived are going to get respected by the billionaires who kept them alive? No, they're slaves.
They're going to kill you for not buying their pharmaceutical.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I got the vaccine. Is I hope there's a 5G chip. For one, better cell service, and then I get to die one day, and it's great.
There you go.
And that's how you get your podcast flagged. We now talked about the vaccine.
Yeah, I do. No, let's not talk about COVID. Okay. So this is I have 2 more questions. Okay. Let's wrap this up. Okay. The less teenagers say faggot, the more teen suicides there have been. Should teenagers be homophobic again?
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, shit. No. I refuse to believe that these two are related. I think this is one of those situations of causation does not equal correlation. And so, no, and this is from someone who used to say that word a lot.
So if it did save some lives, though, should we say it again? Let's say we could find cause.
We could theoretically prove.
If we could prove it. There is no proof of it.
Just bullying some gay kid.
I found
like, I'm
2
doing
different
this to keep you alive.
I found 2 different stats. One was teenagers and their views on using that word. And it has gone down significantly.
Yeah.
And in the last 10 years, suicide rates have gone up significantly. You're right. They're not caused.
No.
But it makes for a great question.
Yeah.
Makes for a great question.
If there was a direct link, then yeah, I think we'd have to throw it out everywhere,
Dude, that was the thing when I came home from my mission.
Some gay teen crying, cuddled in his arms, and I'm just yelling it at him like, I'm doing this to save your life.
Well, dude, here's the thing I don't get. Unless you were like a real asshole, I never saw a gay kid get called that when I was in high school.
No. Well, it's kind of like in the mid-2000s, that word and the R word were both words that like weren't used for the people that it came from. There's a great Office bit where it's like, you don't call your friend an R word because he's an R word. You call it to him because he's doing R word thing. Like,
yeah.
And that's honestly how we were. That's how we thought. And then all of a sudden there's just this shift where all of a sudden people are like, yeah, but it's still offensive. And I'll be honest, I don't quite get it. But
I
people
still don't
are getting hurt because of it, and I just don't want to partake in it.
The people I know who say faggot the most
is that
are gay or bisexual.
Yeah.
And it makes me really jealous.
Yeah, it's a fun word.
I'll say it, but here's the thing. When I was in high school, no one ever called it to your friends, and here's the thing. It wasn't even like, oh, you're doing something feminine, what a fag. A lot of the times it was like, dude, you're being such a douche. Like, yeah. I remember there's
a South Park episode where they changed the meaning of the term.
Oh, for bikers.
Not mean gay people, but to mean Harley Davidson riders.
When I was in Rexburg, I played intramural ice hockey.
Oh, nice.
And during a game, this guy knocked me down in the corner, and then when I'm trying to get back up on my feet, he kept cross-checking me in the back with his stick, so I couldn't stand up, which is illegal.
Yeah,
by the time I got on my feet, I grabbed his helmet with my hand and shoved him, and I yelled, "Do you want to go, faggot?" I don't think he did anything gay, anything feminine. I thought he was a douche.
You were using the word in the mid-2000s definition of the word.
Yeah.
Because objectively, you take away all meaning of the word. You take away its sources and all of that. Objectively, it is a fun word to say.
Oh, it feels great.
It like there's so much rhythm and cadence to it that it's fun. And it's hard for me to not say it sometimes because... because I don't want to. Because we grew up where that definition didn't mean gay people. But, and like I said earlier, I still don't wholly understand it, but I do understand that certain people, very good friends of mine, do feel offended and hurt by it. And so, it's just easier for me not to say it than to try to defend it.
Yeah, when I came home from my mission in 2014, that was around the time I came home, and a buddy of mine from Rexburg, he met me at the airport in LA because I had a layover in LA.
Oh, nice.
Before I went home. So he waited for me at the airport. He had a sign that said, "Welcome halfway home, Elder Simon." And I had an 8-hour layover. So I just hung out with a buddy of mine from college while my parents are waiting to see me. And I was like, dude, so what's changed? Like, he'd been back from his mission for like 3 months. So I'm like, what's the world like now? And he was like, can't say fag anymore. I was like, they took it from us?
Tom Segura's whole bit on it is great. Yeah. It's a fun word, and I do miss saying it, but like I said, it's better for me not to hurt people than to try to defend it.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the last question. If you were getting booked for a stand-up gig, would you rather do a gig, a private event, for the KKK or the Taliban?
I think I'd go KKK because, one, dude, I blend in right with them as far as my looks go. For the viewers who can't see a picture of me, I have a big ass beard. I'm a big guy. Shaved head. I do look like a skinhead. I mean, I do a lot of jokes about it of like, I dress the way I do because if I don't, I look really racist. And like, Dennis has one of my favorite jokes he's ever done of me, which is I look like the gayest member of the KKK. So I think I would do that, one, because I could do that, and I feel like I could do enough relatable comedy for them that isn't racist material and whatnot, and then just slowly see if I can try to convince them that like black people are actually cool.
Dude, I would do the Taliban hands down.
Really?
One, because I love to travel.
Yeah.
Two, also, I've been in Mississippi. What a shithole.
And then 2, 3, if you bomb in front of them, they're like, we get it. We know what bombing is like.
Dude, it'd be so much fun. And I also, I've learned I am more sexist than I am racist.
Okay, yeah.
So, you just get a performer in front of the Taliban. You're like, don't you hate it when bitches read? And they'll be like, we do hate it when bitches read.
Fucking educated bitches. Figuring shit out.
Like driving. Dude, you heard like
realizing we've been oppressing them this whole time.
2 years ago is when Saudi Arabia made it legal for women to drive.
Really?
2 years ago. A little late on that one.
Dude, Saudi Arabia. Wow. We don't want to get back into our political dive, but Saudi Arabia, holy shit. That might be the country to nuke.
Oh, they're actively doing a genocide right now. Yeah. Which is awesome.
And they are most likely the ones responsible for 9/11.
Oh, dude, 100.
They provided all the passports and all of that.
Oh, yeah. But so our government still likes them. Because
justice
shows how much our government cares about
oil. We care about oil.
Yeah.
You know what I love, speaking of oil? All those people who left those Joe Biden "I did that" stickers when the gas prices were going up. Now that they're still there, it makes it look like he's responsible for the gas prices going down. So it's like doing the opposite.
Yeah, they're still stupid high right now.
They're going down a bit, but
I feel like, have you read 1984?
A long time ago, my junior year, I read it in high school.
So seeing the news get all excited about the gas prices going down makes me worried a little bit because... And there's a part in 1984 where their rations for a certain food, their rations got cut.
Yeah.
And then the next day, they raised the rations and they're like, look how great the government is. The rations have gone up. But they're still half as much as what they were before they got cut. And the dude's like, I remember they just got cut like 2 weeks ago. We're still getting less.
That is the sad truth of what's going on.
And now with the gas prices, like a year ago, it was like $3 a gallon.
Well, like Sanders is so good at pointing out how inflation is going up, wages are going down, but companies are recording record profits. It just means like the corporate elite are just overcharging us and stealing our money quite literally, and the government won't do anything about it because
There's a whole lot more to it as well.
That's another 4
Trump
hour.
passed the COVID, one of the COVID relief bills, and it was like $8 trillion. But if you calculate how much was distributed to the public, it was like $2 trillion.
Oh, really?
And where did the rest of that go? It went to giant corporations.
Yeah.
Also, the Fed printed like
tons of money.
Record levels of printing. Right now, they believe that 60% of the money that's in circulation has been printed in the last 3 years.
That sounds about right.
Don't physically
You know what I just
print.
learned? The way they get that money back to reduce inflation is through a lot of like the interest rates on housing costs. So housing is going to go down in the future. And it already is. Housing prices are starting to go down. But interest rates are going up to the where you're paying actually way more for the house than you would have with a higher cost and the lower interest. Anyways,
it's
that's how we get fired.
Nuts.
Talk about inflation.
Let's end the Federal Reserve printing trillions of dollars into the economy, and then we'll be like, what? It was definitely Biden, and it was definitely Putin, and they name all these reasons. That's not the reason. Which is funny with Trump people. They'll be like, it was Biden, which Biden's ridiculous government spending and printing has led to inflation. But Trump did the same thing.
Well, and like a lot of people will be upset that their taxes will go up and they'll blame Biden for it, but it was actually Trump's bill that increased taxes on lower incomes. So the lower tax brackets will experience higher taxes.
They just increased it again with the Inflation Reduction Act.
Sucks,
and it's all tax brackets going up. Which that will reduce it. Which, as a guy who hates the government, I am like, you don't need my money. You have enough bombs.
I'm all for government, not government spending. I think America way overspends on military. We outspend, I believe it's the next 10 countries combined in military. We couldn't hold the Taliban off in Iraq for 22 years.
I hold the opinion.
We spent that much money and then we failed a war. Yes. That was basically a backyard brawl.
That is my number one issue when it comes to voting. Who I think is more likely to end wars is who I will go for.
And as much as I hate Trump, to his credit, he did more than any other president.
He did not start another war. He didn't end any.
He didn't end any, but he also didn't amplify.
Yeah, he did not.
Obama,
I
loved Obama.
He just kept everything stagnant.
Obama was terrible with the war.
Freaking Libya is a fallen state. They have slavery in Libya now.
Yeah.
Legalized slavery because of what U.S. intervention did there.
So anyways, I feel like we've gone way off topic.
As fun
as
it's not even funny now.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just talking.
Let's wrap it up there, dude. Thanks.